Is marriage good for your taxes?
So in the eyes of the IRS, marriage is.
Oh, she bad, bad. Got her own car, own crib, and her own bag. And she keep her business to herself, yeah, I want that. Cause she a mood, yeah, yeah. A whole mood, yeah, yeah. Pretty in the face, sticking on the right places. Runway ready, she be flyer than a spaceship, yeah. Cause she a mood, yeah, yeah. A whole mood, yeah, yeah.
Alright, Avenue 37. I am your host, OG Wolf. Hey, we have the lovely Valerie Simmons here today. I apologize. Valerie Simmons. The lovely Valerie Simmons, tax lady. That's what we're gonna call her. Like, that's the AKA tax lady. I think Trier gave her that name not too long ago, so it was kind of funny to me, but I liked it. Valerie, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good to have you today.
I'm excited to be here today.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You know what? Sure, she's the first lady of the show.
Wow.
Right?
Definitely.
You know what?
History book.
Valerie is the first female guest of Avenue 37.
Really?
History. So we plan on going to like episode 3000.
Yeah.
You're the first woman.
Really?
So yeah. So show will be huge.
I just made history. Thank you.
But yeah.
I'm honored.
Thank you for coming today.
Sure.
I wanted to bring you on the show because I know that you do taxes. Tax season is coming up.
Yes.
Okay? Tax season is coming up. A lot of people need to know about taxes.
Mm-hmm.
We want to get into some things where people may not know about taxes and everything. But before we get into that, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself. Like where you from, where you born, where you hit, where the whoop. Just give me a little rundown of your little life story.
Sure.
Your big life story.
It start little, but it's getting bigger.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm Valerie Simmons, and I am originally from Charleston, South Carolina. That's where I was born and raised.
Awesome.
I left there on my 10th birthday.
Okay.
Worst birthday ever.
And where did you on your birthday? You left on your birthday?
Yes.
Wow.
Long story. Yeah. My mom needed new opportunities. She had a best friend here, so we moved here to Macon, Georgia. Mm-hmm. And then from there we moved, we lived in, what is it, Anthony Holmes, Bird City?
Bird City.
Yes. Bird City stand up.
Bird City.
That's where I started at Hartley Elementary. Right. So went through elementary, middle school, went to Southwest for a year.
Okay, I went to Southwest.
Patriot Nation.
We smart. We smart at high school and good academy.
And then I transferred over to Westside High School.
Okay.
And so then I graduated like 2007. Mm-hmm. And I always kind of wanted to get into the financial field because I didn't have a lot of fun.
Okay.
But so my first job, I was like about 10 years old, and I would be out on the corner selling newspapers. And then I got with a program called the Workforce Development under here in Macon. And I got a job with Macon Housing Authority at about 13 or 14.
Okay.
So I understood very early like how to go out and get it, and then how to be in certain situations and adapt to that really early in life, which was really good for me to go to the next level. Okay. So anyway, transferring back after I graduated high school, I did a little bit of college. I didn't quite, finish it out, but I had a lot of college courses and got into like consumer finance at about 19, 20 years old. Wow. And kind of always been in it, and some form of that and customer service all the way up to now. And so recently I became a full-time entrepreneur and started my own company last year, November.
Okay.
And then, so now I am fully.
So you like
fully
exactly a year almost.
Yeah.
Change, just a little change.
Just a little.
Few cents.
Like couple of cents.
Yeah.
And I had to take that leap. Okay. And that's what I've been doing.
Okay.
Pushing it, grinding.
I noticed that you mentioned Bird City.
Yeah.
Anthony Holmes.
Stand
You
up.
came here, you left on your birthday. You came here at the age of 10. Worst birthday ever.
Let it be known.
Came to make it yours on the birthday.
Yeah.
But could you kind of like describe, if you remember, how Bird City was? Growing up, like when you first came, and like, I mean, I guess once you came and got kind of used to it and seen what was going on, could you kind of describe how that was for you?
Well, I mean, I make that joke that was my worst birthday because I was just leaving family and everything.
Right.
But once I got here and we moved to Bird City, it was just like a family.
Wow.
It was a family. I lived on 1835 Swan Drive.
Swan Drive, shout out to Bird City.
Yo, for real. And I mean, we used to be in the back of Bird City. If you know Bird City, they have these huge fields.
Yeah.
So we in the back playing baseball, football, whatever, kickball, whatever we was doing. So it became very similar to what I had left in Charleston. So
you were an active kid in Bird City.
Oh, you better not.
You weren't sheltered in the house.
because the way I was raised, like my family from the country in South Carolina, we just outside kids.
Right,
We gonna get outside, we gonna play, we gonna run them up. And so when I got here, of course, my mama had to scope the scene. And then when she was like, all right, these just regular kids playing. Right. Y'all bye. You know, see y'all when the
street lights come on.
There you go.
All right.
That's what it was.
So you did experience, when the kids were out. We were out playing, creating games.
Yep.
When that street light came on.
Time to go.
Did you ever let the street light catch you?
Well.
And if you did, what happened?
Well, I mean, nah, my mom wasn't about that. Like, she didn't play the radio with
So
us.
you didn't let it.
After we got like a certain age, it'd be like, okay, let me know where you gonna be at.
Right.
But like 10, 11, 12, she'll flick that light a couple times, that porch light. Because we wasn't allowed to freely roam Bird City like that.
Yeah.
Not at 10, and I'm the oldest of 5, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was 10 and we all like 2-3 years apart. So of course she wasn't about to let us be like, just go wherever, but we had like, either we had the 2 places we could have been in, and then how it worked out, the circle that I was in, all of the little boys and girls were athletes and stuff, so we always had really close proximity to being able to play. But that street light was the truth. When I got about 13, 14 though, it's like,
Okay, yeah.
I'm over here, mommy, or I'm there, da-da-da.
Now, in Bird City, like, so you was in a place where you could see the porch, like.
Yeah. And if I, as a kid, we don't pay attention to how or where we are, but like in the summertime, when it start getting a certain type of dark, you just go ahead. The type of child I was, I went ahead and put myself in a position where I can see that light flicking. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Mike Ryder.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike Ryder.
Hey, Mike.
Mike, what's going on?
Yes.
He had you on the show. He had me on the show on the episode after. And he was telling me about you.
Okay. Yeah.
He was like, y'all had an awesome, show on this podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike Ryder. Check him out too. He told me in our conversation, he told me he grew up in Bird City.
Yeah.
Do you remember Mike?
Yes. That's how I knew Mike. We had we was in 5th and 6th grade together, but also he was one of them kids out there playing. So shout out to Mike.
I hung out in Bird City a few times. I remember Tremaine, because Jerome used to cut hair. My homeboy Greg Rutherford, his kinfolk out there, we used to go out there with him. We used to play football a couple times out there. And I remember as a kid going through Bird City. And Bird City was lit.
Yeah.
When you ride through Bird City, it was just exciting to ride through because everybody was outside. You had to look like you trying to catch everybody to see like this. I'm talking all the way through. You like, everybody outside. Alphabet City was like that too back in the day.
Yeah.
I kind of miss those times, man. When the kids was just outside playing. I remember, as a kid going outside playing.
Yeah.
And we would just make up games. We had pathway that we would go through. We ride our bikes through pathways, other neighborhoods, and this and that. There, I'm on there.
Gone. Have fun.
But that street light meant something too now.
Yeah.
But we as boys, I grew up in the Springs, so don't know, we had our pathway led to like Terrence's apartment. We could go to Kroger from there. We could go to Terrence's Park. You know, we just, I don't know. We just had pathways. I'm pretty sure if I went to the woods, and I couldn't even find the pathway
anymore.
Yeah. But you know, I know you say you started working at 10 years old.
A little bit before that, like hustling before that. Not hustle like that, but like not like that. But like I said when I was on Mike's show, my mom she was big on like fruits or snacks or whatever. And so I might like if she got a whole big box of oatmeal cream pies, I might like take extra than what I was supposed to and then sell them on the bus.
It's natural.
Well, that's how it's supposed to, that's awesome. That's how I thought it was supposed to go. That's how my family was in Charleston, you know?
That's natural. That's what I was gonna ask you too next. Like, who did you see, like, just selling things, like, you know, saying to make a living, to earn extra money, like in your family before you? Who did you see? Yeah. What made you, what created, was it natural? Like, were you the first one or did you see people before you in your family?
Yeah, no, it was definitely my grandmother. So my grandmother was in Macon they call it huckabuck, the frozen ice. And Charleston they call it chili bear. So she was the chili bear lady. So she would have snacks. She was the candy lady.
So slow baby walking slowly to the candy.
The candy lady, right? Also, you know her. How deep I'm gonna go with that? Yeah, so they used to make moonshine. Okay. And so then we used to, you know, not me, but I would see interactions and transactions taking place. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm not thinking it's a bad thing. It's just like you make a product and you sell the product and you get the money. And then you take care of your business. And so that's how I didn't know that I was in a business class. I'm just in the living room chilling or outside playing. But I saw that happening, and then my grandfather, you know, same thing. He would work hard. He did have a 9 to 5, but he would sell cigars and cigarettes and stuff to the little people that was coming around. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
You know what? I saw that, you know, as a kid too. He's my cousin, but I call him uncle too because they're a lot older. So it's like when you got
certain age group.
Yeah, certain age group. You know, it's kind of hard. I've been in the South.
Yeah.
You know, as far as I see it, the way I see it is I didn't call him my cousin, I called him my uncle. Yeah. Auntie, and they used to do that too, you know, as a kid, I used to see that, and it just used to be like, just to be around it. Yeah. You just kind of fun because you kind of was in grown folks' business.
You was without even knowing it. You know what I mean? Like, of course you couldn't be in grown folks' conversation, but that don't mean you couldn't see how grown folks interacted with one another. And then it taught you how to interact with grown folks as you got older, and how to conduct yourself. So.
Then you had that one person or two people that just come through and they would interact with the kids. Or you, or you know what I mean? Like, and they would just, you know, it just make you feel like you was just a part of what they had going on. Yeah. You know, they can ask you those questions that you couldn't answer around. Yeah. You couldn't answer mom and she asked that question. Yeah. You know, you had that mom friend. My mom had a friend like, you get bootings. Tell the truth, you smell your tail. And, you know, and she asked you do it on me, like, shut up. You had those and all that stuff right there. I don't know.
But yeah, it was my grandmother and just family growing up that way. But then I just always have been a person. I'm the oldest of 5 of my mom's 5 kids. So I just I was like, okay, whatever I get, I gotta take care of the fam. So I was just like, I gotta get something happening. So I can take care of myself and the siblings.
That's good.
So
that's good. So being here, moving into the tax. Doing the taxes to the tax area of your life. Like, what were you doing before that? Right before getting into doing taxes.
Right. So I was in sales for a collections agency. So I focused on creating relationships with clients, and then we would take on their bad debt and we would collect on it. Okay. So at first, when I started the job, I was the collector. So I would be the person that would call you and be like, hey, Mr. OG Wolf, I'm Valerie with such and such. You have a bill for this amount. You want to take care of that cash card credit. Okay. And it went from there to Hi, Mr. OG Wolf. I'm with such and such. We want to know if it's possible we can establish a meeting where we can talk about how we can,
break it down in payments.
Yeah, not even break down payments, but like because maybe you're a doctor.
Gotcha.
Maybe you are a CFO at a hospital. So then what we want to do is get all your thousands of patients that owe you money. We want to come in there and collect. That's what I went to in sales. So it went from me calling the patient to me calling the doctor like, hey, can I take this patient bad debt from you and collect on it for you?
Wow. So let me ask you this. In doing that, was it a fee for the doctor to pay you all to do that?
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, so it all different companies are different how they want to run the fees, but yeah, so we would take the fee after we would do the actual work.
Okay. Okay, so from there, you got into tax.
So yeah, but it wasn't like just a jump like that. It was more so like always knew. So I started reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki.
Awesome book.
And he started speaking real heavily about how the rich stay rich and how they get rich, taxes and debt. So I was like, like how this is interesting. I didn't really start the company for me to become rich. It more so was like, I knew that my community needed to understand taxes on a certain level so that they can benefit from it the same way that others benefit. So for me, it was more of like, how can I open the community eyes up to see, listen, we can get this too. We just need to have these things in order. A lot of us don't know to put these things in order. So when we go to these people looking for money, they're like, you don't have a profit and loss. Where's your market plan? Where's this? Where's that? And we like, man, we want to do what we got to do. We ain't worry about all of that. Well, me, I was like, no, we need to figure out how can I be the connection between the two, get my people to the resources necessary and needed. Yeah.
So that trend, I know, like you said, you didn't do this to this, but
it happened like that physically, yeah. But mentally, I already had been working on it years before, in a sense, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So when you started doing the taxes and everything, I guess I would say like in your first year of doing, were you working for someone else or did you
do it?
Go straight into like.
True. So I used to like help before in order to do taxes for other people legally, you got to have what they call a P10 or prepared tax identification number.
Okay.
But before I did that, years ago, I would just be doing like say my mama's taxes or whoever's taxes on Tax Turbo. So I've always kind of done taxes for years, but you get into a whole new realm when you decide you want to be a professional tax preparer. There's a whole lot more things you need to do in order to get to that level.
Right.
So yeah.
Now, in the like the taxes, tax thing, like what if you could remember, like what's one of the major problems that people have, coming to you, like when they want their taxes done, when they've kind of something has messed up before they came to you and they want you to fix it. What's like one of the
major ones? Yeah. So what I've been seeing is people who are independent contractors, right? People who maybe they rap, maybe they I don't know, maybe they're a DJ, maybe they do music. I've been seeing that people are going like years without filing because maybe they're afraid to, or maybe they don't know nothing about that, maybe they owe, and they don't understand that as a taxpayer, anybody in America, you have a taxpayer bill of rights. So that just means they give you like about 10 different rights that you have, and one that always sticks out to me is being able to understand your tax situation on a comprehensible level. A lot of people are intimidated by the IRS and those letters that come in the mail and all these type of different things. So what I realized when I was filing taxes is a lot of people do not know to file taxes every year. Even if you think you're going to owe or not, you still need to at least be reaching out to somebody to be figuring out something. You got the right to call somebody and find out, hey, what's this mean? What is this? Tell me what this says.
The reason I asked it because with me, I'm not putting everything out there. I get with you later on. I definitely need some help.
True.
But like for me, okay, I filed taxes. I mean, ever since I began work.
Yeah,
right.
true.
Fast forward, kids, and then you got to the point where, you know, me and the mother, we split, and then I wasn't able to file them. And she was able, so I wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
So I was like,
What?
What's going on? Like, for me, you know, not for everybody, but me, I've always worked. Well, you know, I did other things, but when I began working, you know, I would depend on those taxes to catch me up, and, you know, catch me up and pull me out of the hole that I put myself in, you know,
through whatever things, yeah.
So when that first happened, you know, I was like confused, and I tried to file again, but I couldn't never get it.
Get that the same way, yeah.
So when that happened, I kind of like, I would try to contact IRS. I'm on hold for like 2 hours at work, right?
Part.
And then till the phone hangs up.
Yeah.
And I began to get kind of aggravated, frustrated, because I started getting these letters saying, "Hey, you owe this," and I'm like, "How do I owe this when I hadn't been able to
do
file?"
anything? Yeah.
And I'm trying to find out
what all of
what
this means.
what do I got to do?
Yeah.
How do I go about paying this? Like, you know, why do I owe this before I pay this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
And then you get with someone who does taxes. You get them your paperwork, you trust them with your taxes.
Yeah.
Nothing comes. You call them and you're like,
what's going on?
What's going on? And
Right.
they can kind of somewhat tell you something.
Yeah.
But they
Can't
tell you,
really.
hey, well, you need to go to the IRS office. I go to the office.
Still nothing.
You need to call
this person.
I've been calling. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like
ongoing kind of cycle.
I kind of like gave up.
Yeah. That happened.
I got frustrated. I'm like, man, I can't deal with this. You know, it's excuse me.
Yeah.
I work. You know, so I'm working. I'm paying taxes. Like, it shouldn't be this serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like when you get lost, I mean, just trying to find your way back. You know, to
Can
get
be really
back
hard.
to even ground. You know what I mean? I definitely need
help with that. But one thing I think we got to realize is that you didn't get to that point in 1-2 days, 1-2 hours. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to be like a quick process like that.
Right.
So one thing you got to do is allow yourself some patience and don't fault yourself for that. Get you a professional, and you got to have a kind of a plan of action and understand that process may take a while to get you back where you need to be.
Tax time is coming.
Yeah, yes, Lord.
What's the name of your tax company?
True. It's called North Point with the E at the end, Tax and Services. And the and services means I do taxes, I do accounting. We're not full-fledged accounting, but like bookkeeping. I help business startups and just kind of any advice that I can help and give to people to get themselves to the next level.
Awesome.
So you have to, I was strategic about naming it that. That way I won't only box myself into just taxes.
Right.
But I named it North Point based off of, I had saw the movie Harriet. She said that she used the Northern Star to get herself out of bondage and trouble.
Wow.
I was like, okay, cool. I might not call it North Star Tax and Services. Maybe I'll call it the North Point.
That's awesome.
Where you would come to, you would see me and see my company as a way to get you out of tax bondages,
that's awesome.
financial bondages.
That's dope right there. Like,
Yeah.
when you came up with that right now,
Yeah.
like, that's like genius right there.
Yeah.
That lets you know that, it has a deep meaning. You know what I mean? That in itself made me want to come see you. You know, and I want, I brought on the show so that my viewers and watchers could actually have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you had a bad experience with the person previously. You know what I mean? Maybe it wasn't their fault. It's just a situation that just wasn't, handled properly because of a certain way that it was communicated. You know what I mean? I don't want to say, hey, the person that handled your taxes was fraud or anything like that. It's just you know, just didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
You know, so with Valerie here, we got Valerie. I brought on the show so she can get some business. We want all your business. You know, I had another question as far as COVID goes.
Okay.
A lot of people look at COVID as, and it is bad. Mm-hmm. And I think all things work together for the good.
Sure.
Okay. What are some benefits that came with this COVID crisis? Dealing with
taxes
and stuff like that.
Some benefits that came from the COVID crisis dealing with taxes.
Like, was it like a type of, did they waive anything?
In particular, yeah. So they what happens is the IRS, they come up with different things that they want to do to help depending on the economy. So we didn't know a pandemic was going to come. Right. So then they put things in place, but a lot of times we don't know that until the following tax year, because for 2020, you're not going to file these taxes for this year until next year. Right. So they'll kind of start letting us know towards the end of this year and into January any like major changes. I do know that a lot of businesses have gotten started because of COVID, as well as a lot of home office deductions. So they're going to change some of those things and give you more incentives to continue on business, because the government, believe it or not, wants you to have your own business. They want you to have your own business. They don't want to have to provide jobs and things of that nature. So I think with COVID, what it did was it woke up a lot of people to be like, you know, maybe I can do something on my own. And then that's when the tax law really start working towards your benefit when you are a business owner. So, but yeah, they offered a lot of tax write-offs for PPE stuff and things that you had to do in order to make sure your business can continue to run within COVID guidelines. So a lot of people are going to see that. They're going to forgive a lot of these loans, some if they're not fraudulent. And yeah, there's a lot of things happening. It's a lot to keep up with all together, but yeah.
So, you know, like, even with, you know, doing these the tax time, you know, people gonna be flocking. What's, do you know the date? What's the date this year? Because things are always changing. What's the date that people can
start filing? They push it back every year. They push it back every year, and with this COVID, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know right off the top. I don't know. They push it back every year, and because this year the deadline kept getting pushed back. So originally it's supposed to have been April 15th. Then they pushed it back to like July. Then they kept pushing it back. So then all that does is kind of start over. So we don't exactly know. I know like the EITC, which is earned income, that type of thing. Those people have to wait a certain amount of time before they can file their taxes. But we don't know dates right away. Not that I know of. But I know they do push them back every year.
Okay, doing the taxes, as you do the taxes and everything, in your mind, to me, you're a hustler. You're an entrepreneur. That's right.
I like
she
that.
been in it ever since.
Financialpreneur.
Hey, he always coming up.
You got a coin that one.
Got some stuff. Financial. Say that one more time.
Financialpreneur.
I love it, bro. Dopeness. I'm gonna put that on the shirt. Yeah. What are some things you see yourself doing? You know, as you go.
As I grow more.
I know your mind starts ticking, because once you get in your bag, you start working and start doing things.
And all kind of things come
ideas start coming, and some stuff just happen organically.
This is so true. This is very true.
What do you see?
Coming next for me is going to be creating courses, creating maybe some type of master course or basic credit course. Also, I want to eventually kind of spring into real estate. I mean, it really can go for some intellectual property, so some books maybe, all kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, that's it for right. Not it, but like that's what are the major in my mind. And these aren't even until years away, really. But it's always good to have that running in your brain, and it keeps me motivated for where I am right now, because I know where I want to be.
you know, I call it seed. You know, once you start something, it's like planting a seed.
Yeah, it really is.
And then next thing you got some plants growing, and then they grow up to be what they need to be, and then you take from that and pull the seeds out of that fruit and plant those. And
Start all over.
next thing you know, you got a field full of whatever you planted. But it's different, you know, it's different things. Like I see like a lot of people like started out with the music, then they come out with the clothing. That was big at one point, and then people started coming out with a liquor,
Yeah.
you know, a beverage or whatever. You know, they was just, and then people would go off to acting, come out with a shoe or whatever the case may be. That's why I asked you that, you know, because I know even with me, you know, I've done music for so long, and now I'm doing podcasts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's major though.
So it's just, I don't know, it's like I was telling my last guest, shout out to Frank Nigga, era just, you know, rap got boring to me. But it comes and goes. You know, it gets boring to me.
Yeah.
Kind of feel like Andre 3000. I think that's why he just do features.
Yeah. But you gotta keep those things in there that's gonna liven you up again. Because I can tell there's a passion behind this right here, what you're doing.
Definitely.
And you keep feeding that passion and different things are gonna sprout from it. And then it'll allow you to have options to jump in what you want to jump into.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And even with Trail, you know, you come out filming and shooting videos. And I spoke with him. He said, you know, one of the things that he liked doing is what we're doing now. Filming podcasts.
This is dope, yeah.
You know, oh man, you know what? You're incredible, by the way. You're incredible, by the way. You know what? I gotta get interview you too, bro. Like we're gonna set the camera up. We're gonna set the camera up. We're gonna have the Hollow Man back there. You know, the Invisible Man. I'm gonna interview you because I need your story, bro. I need your story. But right now we're listening to Valerie Simmons' story. Valerie.
Yes.
You be working out.
Ooh.
Listen, she be working out, man. Valerie Simmons, I see her story, I see you working out, and I be like, what in the world? Like, ouch.
Yeah. You tell me that all the time.
Yeah, like, no. Like, for real, like, how working out, how does that help you mentally? You know, and also, you know, so I see you work out, and you say you have kids.
I have one son. Yeah, he's 3.
One son. You got your business. And everything. You squeeze that in there. But how does working out help you with? I notice you do it in the morning.
Yeah. Well, depends. Different times.
Oh, really?
So when I first started out, I was doing it after my 9 to 5, and I was just joining. A shout out to my trainer. He's a football player at Fort Valley State University. Darius.
What's his name?
Darius.
Darius. Darius. Shout out to him.
But he kind of will work with you. Kind of whatever, you know what I'm saying, in between his school schedule and his work schedule.
Right.
So yeah, at first it started off at night, but it was really just me wanting to. I'm 30, I'll be 32 next year. And I've been getting, I got a little townhouse apartment, whatever. And I'm getting to the top of the stairs like.
Tired, right.
And I'm like, I ain't about 31. So I had to switch that up real fast. Also, mentally, it just kind of helps to create some good, what they call endorphins, and just make you feel good. They hurt right there in that minute, but then you just be like coasting. You be feeling kind of on a high after that, because you be like, dang, I really just put in that work. And it does something for you psychologically beyond the physical part. But yeah, I knew what my future was gonna hold, and I wanted to be physically and mentally and spiritually ready for the prosperity that's about to be bestowed upon me.
That's important. It's so important, because you got, a lot of, even with me, like, I just, my mind is telling me that I'm 20.
Right.
And my body is
telling
me, saying, oh, I don't care who tell it. You need to get your mind right.
For real?
You start rapping ghetto boys. Start your mind playing tricks on you.
Okay.
But they always involved with, and that's very important. The older you get, man, your mind tells you that you have the same mind as a kid. It's you. It is who you are. You are you. The real you doesn't have an age. Okay, the body does though. The body gets older, you know, but the real you that's inside the body doesn't have an age; it's eternal, and that's why it's like that. But your body will let you know
Yes.
that it's getting older. And the thing about it is, you know, it is important for us as we get older to make sure that we take care of ourselves. You know, I hadn't been doing that like I should. And you got some people that exercise but may not eat the right thing.
And both things are important. They go hand in hand. Yeah.
So,
I'm just looking.
Exercise now. Do you eat right?
I'm gonna be 100%. Not all the time.
Okay.
Not all the time. But I'm looking. It's a book called "Eat to Live: How to Eat to Live" by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
I've heard about it.
And I'm trying to get that book and start implementing some of those things, right? So I can cook, yeah, but I want to learn how to eat better so that we can live longer and feel better when we're done eating. Even though we think that's a good thing, but after you eat a meal, you ain't supposed to feel like sluggish and done with life. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I look at some things. I go to the Bible a lot of times. You know, but like I said, when I go there, I don't look at the story if it's true or false. I look at the message, and people speak about, hey, the apple.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't say that about what fruit it was.
Just said it was forbidden.
Right. But I noticed that what they call sin, what we call sin, it said the first thing was do not eat that. You know what I mean? Or you will surely die. Right?
Yeah.
And the word for add a T to die is diet. Right? So it's like,
Come on now.
you shall surely die.
Yeah.
So I guess even the first what we call sin was do not eat that or you will surely die.
Right.
So if you hadn't eaten that, that shows me that the body, if this is true, was designed to live forever. Because it had that not been eaten, then you had the tree of life too, right?
Yeah, this is very
and
true.
people don't realize, like I said, the message, 2 trees.
Yeah.
The message in it is do not eat that.
Whatever it is. Oh yeah.
Whatever that is.
Whatever that is, don't eat
You can eat of this, but don't
eat of that. Yeah.
So, you know, we got to get to the place where we don't eat that.
Yeah.
That what we know that will make us surely die.
Right.
Diabetes, all this.
I was just about to say, I was just listening to this podcast the other day about sugar and salt and certain things, about how those little bitty things are almost like drugs to us, like crack to us almost. And we worse than. So just like little stuff like that, and how that stuff is very prevalent in our community. Police is killing us and everything else, but like we killing ourselves, keep poisoning ourselves with that artificial bullshit. Sorry, can I say bullshit? Oh, okay. But the artificial will kill you every time. And these are things that I'm learning. I'm not like gung-ho and perfect, but it's like you learn this information and then you apply the knowledge and then, take off from there. So I will say today, though, I went by Homeland Village, and he's a vegan restaurant on Napier Avenue. Okay. And
shout out to him.
Brother Kirk. And phenomenal vegan food, plant-based everything. So that's where I'm trying to get some cooking lessons from in regards to that.
Did you get something to eat from that actually?
I did. What was it? I'm gonna post it too. It was he did like collard greens, carrots, and corn, like a medley. I know it don't sound. I know.
I'm asking for a reason.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
You need to stop by there. But okay, so it's that.
You know what to get though, cause I go in there.
So it's like a cook to order.
It's a cook. Yeah, he pretty much has the menu set out, and then you go in there and you tell him, okay, yeah, that sounds good. So then he have like some beef tips, but they plant-based.
Right.
And then he might have some, they call it quinoa and rice mixed together. And he had Japanese potatoes.
Okay.
So it's just really like blowing my mind, just even the things that he's saying, but then when you try it, it's like phenomenal. When you eat it, you be like, my body was just rejuvenated. Wow. Like, nah, you definitely got to try it out. No, I definitely just went by there. I got some books, some literature. It's all kind of historic artifacts and books and things that, you know, our people need to be up on and aware of for sure.
You know, I work out sometimes. Right? It may last 2 months, 3 months. And then somewhere down the line, I kind of like fall away. But I notice like the more I work out, the longer I work out, the more my mind starts telling me I need to eat right. You know, because I don't start out eating right.
Right.
But the more you do, the more you work out, it seems like just your body just starts telling you, okay, you need to do something that match what you're doing.
There you
It
go.
doesn't make sense
Yes.
to do that. And then do something else
Well,
that contradicts what you just did.
yeah.
So I would just say, you know, once you start something, I think everything else around you starts to happen organically with what you need to do.
Right. And you might, and you said you might fell off the wagon a couple of times. You might do that. We human beings, and give yourself that right to be a human, but understand that you always got a chance to start over, to try it again.
And I was telling you, like, that's why I tell you, like, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always, even if I'm not doing it, I'm still gonna say, hey, keep doing it, because you never know who's watching.
Right.
You never know who you're motivating to start doing that, because a lot of times it starts in the mind. And when it starts, a lot of times people think about doing something for a whole year
Before they do it. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's right there. You know
For
what I mean?
sure, for
But
sure.
When you put stuff like that on your story or put stuff like that on your feed, you know, and people actually seeing your results. You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
You just never know who you're
Yeah.
motivating to start doing what they already been thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a good thing. And I encourage you to keep doing that.
Thank you.
As well as doing your taxes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Doing people's taxes.
Of course.
So
100%.
I don't know. This has been an awesome segment
Yes.
to me. Because we need to be educated on all this stuff.
Yes.
Our health and our wealth.
Yes.
That, to me, my friends,
Key
is
to life.
a well-rounded person. You know what I mean? Because I think when you're wealth, people can have wealth, but their health may not be right. People can have health, but their money might not be right. But when you have both, you know, you can kind of move a little different.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can smile and really mean
That.
you know, mean that. You know what I mean? Some people hide behind a smile or try to. But you can't hide that energy. That energy, it tells it all. You know what I mean? You can tell when a person is genuinely happy. You know, and a person may have a shutterbug moment where something just made them happy for that moment, but like just that overall happiness, that good feeling when somebody just waking up and just can't wait to wake up and do
Life.
what they. You know what I'm saying? You go to bed at night and can't wait to get up in the morning to do what you already thinking you need to do the next day. So I don't know. I just encourage everybody to start working on your wealth, your finances, start working on your health, eating habits, and everything like that. I'm not perfect. Hey, I'm the type of person that is on my mind right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm watching people. And as I go through with life, you know what I'm saying, as I get older, I got kids, want to make sure they're good, want to make sure I'm around until they become adults and go to college, you know, see them succeed in life as well. And not only that, learn things that we can teach them. You know what I mean? We should put ourselves in a position where we can teach them how to be business owners.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I noticed that you say that you have your own, so that means you had to walk away from working for someone. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was really tough because it felt good in a spiritual way, but it was tough like every other way, because you go from a certain, living in a certain type of way and expecting this check every however often to like really out here like, damn, I gotta get to it. Like, how I'm gonna make this happen, I'm gonna make that happen. What that does is it creates that creativity and it causes you to go hard, but it was a little unsettling in the very beginning, I ain't even gonna lie. But it was something that was necessary to do.
What made you stick through it though? What made you say, hey, okay, although this is hard, the chick ain't coming in, knowing that you can go get a job?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Knowing you can go out and go get something right quick, or even if it was part-time, just to kind of you know what I'm saying, bridge the gap, so to speak. What made you stick with not doing it and just knowing in your mind, man, if I just keep going, I gotta just fight through, like, what was that?
It was a spiritual based thing. So I read the whole book of Proverbs, right, from the Bible.
Yeah.
It spoke a lot about wisdom and knowledge. And then I read other scriptures, and it was just understanding that you have not even a gift, but you have what it takes. So especially and I'm big on Black history as well.
Okay.
So from the beginning of slavery times, it's always been like this big plot against our people to make us feel like we less than or whatever. Right. And growing up, I've been learning like, no, that's not true. Right. That don't have to be true. Right. I don't know. What's keeping me going is that I want my freedom. It's a certain level of freedom that I don't want to sell. I'm not selling my freedom no more. I'm not doing it. And this is no slack to anybody who is working or have to work or whatever. I'm not opposed to going out and finding a low job if things get too tough. Right. But like, that ain't gonna be where I stay. Right. It's just gonna be like, all right, cool. It's gonna take me to this level and then I'm going again. Right. And it's gonna take me to that level and then I'm going again. Yeah. So I'm not opposed to working. I'm not that. But I don't know. I don't exactly know.
How does it feel though? When overall feeling like you're making a living, you know what I mean, for yourself.
Doing your own thing.
You got a vehicle, you got your own place you live at, you're taking care of your kid, your son. You're doing interviews.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're working out, you're doing everything that you were doing when you were working for someone else. How does that feel though? Like
to
explain
finally let it go, that freedom. It's indescribable. It's indescribable being in total control of yourself and total control of your time like that. It's really, I really can't. It's still a little, not scary, but just like, you gotta be very particular. Yeah, but you gotta be particular about managing your time. You get all this freedom. It's like if somebody hit the lottery and they got all this money and then they blow it. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be mentally ready. Wow. And so you get all of that freedom and then you're like, oh shoot, I can do this, I can do that. I'm like, no. Keep that same schedule, but put that schedule for yourself though.
Managing your time is a work in itself.
Yes. Yes.
That's work in itself.
Yes. Yeah.
And Trill, he back that noise in his head.
That's real life.
He's the same way.
Yeah.
He gotta make these videos. He gotta get out there and do it. He gotta manage his time.
And be disciplined about it.
Yeah, and I spoke with him and talked to him. And I called him one day and I texted him. I just want to talk to him. I want to talk to him about something other than where we're gonna meet at to do this podcast.
Yeah.
When we're gonna do this video.
Yeah.
I just want to talk to him because he has a lot on his plate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, it's okay to slow down, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it really might not be for him.
Yeah.
At this moment.
Yeah. No, that's
you know what I'm saying?
That's important.
You know what he has to do.
Yeah.
So since 20 years old, I've been working. I'm probably like for 21 years. I probably had like a 3-month gap where I wasn't working.
Right.
So I've been working. I'm tired.
Same.
Not just, I ain't gonna say tired of working. Really tired of working for someone else.
Selling your time.
And I know that I know how to get out here and get it. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you, like, one of my fears is, one of them I can just admit it, but I'm fighting through it. I'm fighting through it, and it just is what it is. Because a lot of times we don't step out. It don't necessarily be the fear of what we think the fear is. A lot of times it's what other people think. Your mother, the important people in your life. Like,
that's super real.
Can't be doing it.
Right.
Come on, you know what I mean? And so.
And I can imagine, I'm sorry, that's harder on the males.
Yes.
On the male, because y'all supposed to be the protector, the provider, And then if y'all step out there, me as the woman, I can already be like, what you doing? Like, what? So I can't imagine like having to be that concerned with what everybody else feels, especially when you got little kids, because people are going to look at you like, you got kids, you can't do that. But
and shout out to Andrea Cook. He
okay, yeah.
he made a post the other day. I think I shared it, and he was just telling when he stepped out, his wife didn't go against it. You know what I'm saying? And that was
She supported it.
She supported it, man, and that's very important. Like, you know, sometimes your man, woman, whoever can support, stand behind the dream. You know what I mean? Like, don't go against. You know what I'm saying? Help with it. You know what I mean? Because you know that pressure. I mean, there's a lot of pressure out there. You know what I mean? Like she said, especially being a black male like me. I mean, it is what it is. We'll talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I pay child support.
Yeah.
You know, and that keeps me working, going to work. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, if it weren't for that, it would be easy, right?
Yeah.
For me, kind of sort of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But I tell you, one of the things that's one of the things. But I'm fighting through it because I've seen and tasted what freedom feel like for a little while. You know what I mean? And even every weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every week when you're off, it's a taste because you can get up and get out and do what you gotta do. Like I just know I can get out here and I can make something happen. You just need the time. Because you gotta think, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Sometimes you just need the time.
That's very true. That's
another
reason why I had to step out. I didn't have the time to fully work in my business the way I needed to work in it to make that joint grow. I was giving it this much time, giving whoever else this much time, my son this much time, and then in between getting him in the tub and getting to bed, I got this much time to work on the business. I'm not gonna get nowhere like that. And then the weekends, you know, I gotta spend with my child, or I gotta give the whole weekend to the work. So then you just working the whole week through. I just got tired of that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump off into that, but yeah.
I don't think you would believe in me.
But that was the real thing for me, like not having the time. So at some point, I just was like, okay, Val, what you gonna do? You gonna keep using this as a facade to well, not a facade, but like as a thing to keep you back, or you gonna jump into it? Now your situation different, I understand, because you kind of, you got child support and that type of thing. I didn't have that, and I don't have child support on my child's father because, well, that's a whole nother story.
No.
Right, because I know how to get out here.
The business.
Yeah.
For real, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, I have my kid. You know what I'm saying? With me. If I didn't have that and I didn't have to work like that, I could have them a lot more. You know what I mean? And I desire it. Yeah. But it is what it is. Yeah. This is what's going on.
Right.
It is what it is. But I got to figure out how to work through that and make that possible. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not pointing the finger at anybody. True. I'm a man. Yeah. At the end of the day. Yeah. I got to figure that out. Yeah. And I'll tell you one thing, my mind is there. I'm watching, I'm looking at Trail, I'm looking at that. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the entrepreneurs, I'm looking at people who stepped out. You know what I mean? Shout out to Trail too. You also got a mobile detailing business. Okay. I'm as I go, I'm thinking like I'm always shouting out people. You want to buy you know what I'm saying? I need you to hit the van up, bro. For real. But everything that we're talking about is very important. It's very important. We all need it. And I see this is another thing I see with COVID. We got time to think. Yes. Yes. Some people are out of work. You know what I mean? And some people can't go back to work. And even with people that has COVID or has had COVID, that mean they're quarantined for 14 days. You know what I mean? Them 2 weeks to be in the house, I can't go nowhere. You gotta think. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, I just see us. It's just all things work together for the good because people are coming and their mind are getting together. Like
clearing
my show, like people coming up with their own clothing line, and people are we're all shopping with one another
more than we ever have.
And that dollar stand in the community a little bit longer. Yeah, now
which is important.
Very important.
Very important.
Very important. So I don't know. That's the importance of this show as well.
Yeah.
To have people like you on the show, so we can put it out there. Hey, Valerie Simmons does taxes. You know what I'm saying? Go see her. She's not the only one. You know, everybody in the world can't go to her. But at the end of the day, this is what she's doing. We're here to help one another.
Right, and it's enough for all of us.
If this show can gain you 10 more clients,
listen,
then it serves its purpose. If it can gain you one more.
Thank you. I was about to say, if it can gain me one more client, I'm blessed.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And that's what this is all about. You know, I'm so happy, and I thank you for coming on the show today.
This was dope. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for inviting me. This was really fun.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
This is Valerie Simmons. Anything you want to close out with, like your business, where you're located, how to get in contact with you, anything of that nature is yours.
All right. So, Facebook is North Point with the E, Tax and Services LLC. Instagram, same thing. And LinkedIn, I'm on there. I am a virtual tax shop, but I can come to you. I do have a shared location in downtown Macon. My telephone number, business number is 404-210-0236. My personal cell is 404-326-0791. And just call me. I do free consultations, just if you just want to you need somebody to release all whatever you got going on, and I can kind of help you assess your situation and tell you where's the best direction. So, thank you.
Thank you. That was Valerie Simmons. You had her, let her do your taxes. I'm going to go to her and say, hey, I need your help. Please help
Do
me.
this.
You know what I mean? Do this. Here, I'll be back in a week. Let me know where you at.
Where you at?
But hey, look, this has been another episode of Avenue 37. Thank you, Valerie Simmons. I'm OG Wolf, and we gone for real. What's the number one or one thing you think people have to know about consumer finance?
In consumer finances, the number one thing you need to know about is going to be credit. So your interest rate is going to be so the money that is charged to you for borrowing money, that's going to be based solely off of what your credit score looks like. The higher your score, the less you got to pay back. The lower your score, the more they're going to drive that up. That's what I feel like is most important about that.
Okay. All right, second question. What made you think, how could you serve your community?
So I grew up in Charleston, a very family and community-oriented place. And when I got into consumer finance, I realized a lot of the people in my community did not know much about money, taxes, any of that. So I made it my mission and my business. In the back of my head, I always wanted to help. And I figured this would be the way to help by making us financially aware of what we're getting into and how to handle our monies the correct way.
Okay. Question 3. Is marriage good?
He can't even get it out.
Question 3. Is marriage good for your taxes?
So in the eyes of the IRS, marriage is better for taxes. Yes, you get higher standard deductions. You're able to do a lot more things when you're married filing jointly, not separately. When you marry filing separately, you don't get the same type of benefits. You definitely get more benefits married filing jointly. So get married. I'm just kidding.
If the government wants you to have your own business, how did we get in such a job-dependent economy?
You're gonna have to take that thing back like 350 years. So slavery, the economy was based upon doing jobs and work. What has happened is everybody has evolved and transcended into understanding how to make the Constitution work for them. I think our community, that wasn't so prevalent on purpose. So once you start understanding the IRS and the type of benefits that you get from opening a business and creating a business, you'll understand more.
So basically, you saying we haven't totally left slavery, a slave-based economy.
Yes. Yes. Yes, more of a mental thing than anything else. This is not to say nobody don't ever needs a job, but like so dependent. There's so many other ways you can receive income than earning income in that way.
Next question. Who is more financially savvy, men or women?
Women, you better. Let me tell you something.
What's your proof?
Nah, I have no proof. I have none. But you know, in the men's world, listen.
So you do have a little proof. You do that.
So men tend to earn more money, but women tend to know how to use the money better. So if we speaking savvy, I'm gonna say women for sure. But men do earn more money though.
All right, next question. What more important, Next question.
Okay.
What's more important, your brain or your intuition?
Yeah, definitely gonna be that intuition for me. That's kind of how they kind of go hand in hand. They really do. They really do go hand in hand. But that intuition is something just deeply from the ancestor. Like that joint is deep within. So for myself, I'm gonna say intuition. But I still am a bookworm. I still like to know things and I create my own map of what I think it is. And then the intuition just kind of helped me guide through them.
So you mentioned ancestors. What is intuition to you? Like if you could describe it as a noun, what is intuition?
If I could describe it as a noun, what is intuition? Yeah, that's a good question. Ancestors. Let me see. That was a good one.
Like so you saying intuition could be like a lot of different. Like you saying ancestors, this could be this person at this time, this person at this time.
I say this thing that when I show up in places, I'm not ever just representing myself, right? I'm always representing like my mom, my aunt, people behind, that it came before me. So something about intuition is already having that with you, already having the spirits of everybody who came before you with you, making you something within your fiber, your DNA knows when to make certain decisions about stuff. So
intuition to you could be a community of your ancestors.
We'll say that. I like that. Yes.
Anything else you want to say before we cut this camera off?
I don't think that there's anything I want to say, but I'm very grateful and humble to have done this. Thank you.